IVM.
कृपया ध्यान दीजिए, the language used on the podcast may not be fit for consumption. We warn you, tread carefully. But listen, yaar, don't be so conservative. Yup, it's cock and bull time. Before we bring in the lovely Ayushi, I want to actually, in the rant, get Amit's intro into this as well, because we have a common friend, well, more his friend, Pankal, who runs a lot of these different restaurants, right?
Yeah, Woodside.
So I went to the one with the steps. What's it called?
Woodside.
Woodside, that's it. Woodside Inn. And you know, I love the place. So we go COVID or no COVID, and the food's always great. But a small bone to pick because of my slightly medieval mind and stupidity and, I don't know, pettiness. So there's a poster of something advertising some sort of food with "Here Comes the Sun" written there. And then there's a picture of John Lennon on top. Now, I don't want to get technical, but anybody knows that "Here Comes the Sun" is a George Harrison classic. A Beatles song, no doubt. But you would not put John on top. You would put George on top. There's only John's picture. So, Uncle, this kind of thing upsets me, and I'm about to turn around, and my daughter says, we've come all the way here. Let it go. They don't know they're Beatles. You can't be so picky. But like in our country, GST you avoid. But in my country, if you make Beatle mistakes, there is sort of capital punishment
So
coming.
I think the person you're looking for is Sumit Gambhir, the other partner over there.
Yeah, but Sumit, so I agree, but Pankal is close by, the Walkeshwar boy. So I want to point him out first. So
Okay,
why is
no, but
Sumit,
Sumit
more important?
Because Sumit is the music guy. And Sumit's also a regular listener. So you remember I was complaining about price of drinks a few weeks ago?
Yeah.
When I went outside, and he's like, dude, I hope you weren't talking about Woodside.
Was it?
No, I wasn't talking about Woodside.
It's the problem with
Woodside
this
is a
intimate
lovely
broadcast thing where everybody knows everyone. We're screwed.
Yeah.
It's easier to attack the political parties than them.
This is a straight request to Sumit, who's in charge of music at all of the Woodside places. That hey, Sumit, you got to check your posters too, man.
We live in an age of disruption, of immense change in every aspect of work, life, and business. But is the old way of doing things truly dead? And are we ever going to stop saying the new normal? Join me, Varun Dugirala, on Advertising is Dead every Tuesday as I talk to entrepreneurs, leaders, creators, and change makers from across business, media, marketing, and beyond to dig a little deeper into how we got here, what we're doing now, and where we're headed. You can catch all the episodes of Advertising is Dead on the IVM Podcast website, app, or wherever you get your podcast from.
Ayushi, sorry, we're not including you in the conversation. That is rude. But
No, that's fine. I was just kind of concerned, like, am I allowed to laugh on it? Like, can I make any noise while this
gender
is
parity.
going on?
That's been established.
I didn't know. There was no disclaimer at the top of the show.
Come to my house, it's the other way around. We are fighting for parity. Yeah.
That's fine with me. That I have no issue. I feel no sorrow, regret.
No, it's just that
empathy
these
towards
guys,
you.
as we started the podcast, they just, started making waves. They're actually really great kids. They're younger than me, but they're really good entrepreneurs who are keeping South Mumbai alive and our sort of South Mumbai
Yeah,
cultural...
I love Woodside.
and all
I
their
think
places.
it's too good.
Yeah.
So they've got all the Mumbai food and all, which they sort of save and all that. Others have copied them, but they have done
the
that.
other one's really good too, right? The one next to it, which is not open right now, but
Which is that?
The pantry is one.
So pantry is one of
Barking
them.
Deer.
No,
Is
right
Barking
next.
Deer
No,
of
no,
them?
no, that's
one in
not them.
Parel?
Right next to Woodside, where they did all the different club type foods.
Oh, right. Aisha, what's it called? The one next to Woodside?
Cafe
No,
Access? No.
no.
Mumbai Masala? No.
Something like that. Bombay.
Aisha,
I
what's it
think it was
called?
Bombay something.
Bombay something. The one we used to go to on the
Canteen.
right.
Bombay Canteen, is that?
No, Bombay Canteen
No,
is.
Bombay Canteen is also
that's
first
Bombay
of all
Vintage.
excellent.
Bombay Vintage.
Bombay
Thanks,
Vintage, that's the
Aisha.
one. That's
Woman
Correct.
power, yo, Ayushi.
I knew it. We come to use.
What are you doing, Ayushi? Is just walking off in the middle. What's in the glass?
The remnants of a nimbu pani.
Oh, okay, you're one of those health freaks. So you drink one limbu pani the whole day, divide it into 4 pieces, and this is piece number. It's like a basketball game. This is the third quarter. Just check it out.
No, this is the end of it because I was waiting for you guys to start. So I started my beverage too early.
We are like 4 young queens in our teens. To be honest,
I agree. I am a queen
3.
in my teen.
Because we just talk about nothing in particular. Our whole podcast is just
It's
gone
my
with the
favorite genre is to
You think?
not. It's just, first of all, I can't shut up. That's my problem, which I think, Cyrus, you would most specifically
only
relate
gender
with.
separates us. You're right.
Yes, that's true. Just today, I was asking Ritasha, my co-host, obviously, and I was hanging out with her this morning. And I was like, do you sometimes feel like you want to put a muzzle on me? Because I just keep talking. And her reaction was so heartwarming. She's like, never. I would never muzzle you ever. You just talk, baby, as much as you want. And I was like, yeah.
But she seems to be a classy act. Where I grew up and people around me, my teachers used to say, "Will you stop talking?"
Yeah.
I'm thinking that if I didn't do that, I wouldn't have a job. What else could I have done?
That's
So I
very
think
true.
we weren't able to see that maybe you can use your negative to be a positive in a sense. My sister used to actually get angry because I get excitable for no reason. She was like, "Why are you always so excitable?" Now she's saying that my sister, correlation. This is where marriage takes you. Can you see that? Can you see that, folks? Before you get married, your wife becomes your sister. That's the fucking truth of marriage. Ouch. And not by choice. This is just the way it is. It's an organic movement. Nature takes its course.
Do you believe in that thing where, like, after a point, partners start looking like each other?
I'm a hairy now.
I have no response.
Go back to Punkil. Okay, it's a bit petty, but my point. But I was like, but John's in the song, but it's an iconic George Harrison song. Anyone, he's Silvery likes the Beatles. He knows that.
Yep.
But anyway,
I did not know that particular fact, though.
You didn't know that,
wouldn't have got it.
Here comes George Harrison.
Cyrus, you have to be deep to know what John's written, what
You are
Lennon's written, and what McCartney's written, right? You got to be deep in that
George's
rabbit hole.
iconic songs, the two ones that everyone should know or would know, would be Something and Here Comes the Sun.
I hear what you're saying.
I know Yesterday is written by Paul McCartney. He keeps that's one of his favorite songs.
Which is the highest covered music piece in the world.
Yes,
really?
That has to be
see that
Wonderwall by all first-time learning guitar boys. That is the most covered song ever.
Every generation has one. We had some other stuff growing up and we tried to hear instrumental music.
Dude, I remember when I was learning guitar, you had to learn that When the Saints Go Marching In. That was the song
When
that
the
you had to keep.
Saints go
I would
marching
rather
in.
someone play that for me to serenade me than Wonderwall.
What? It's a good drinking song. I don't know about serenading a girl per se because it's not
No,
so
no,
romantic, but
but
it's got that
one second.
marching, drinking feel to it. So when you're in a group, it's great fun.
But
It's all rugby songs, actually. We all
the
enjoy
thing
them.
with like Wonderwall is just what you've turned it into. Like the dude who's playing it thinks that he is so cool and so good at the guitar now that we should just be floored. And it's not the case. This is a PSA on your show talking to dudes. Do not play Wonderwall for any female.
Hey, there's a chick
anymore.
out there who I've been following. Ayushi, you sound like her, who tells guys how to put out girls. And I've been trying to listen to her. And it's always 5 ways you can make a woman love. Well, the dirtier versions, but it's all that. All the information that you want as a man.
I wish that I was stable enough to give that advice, because what attracts or like repulses me changes in 1 week.
Really? So I picked up a couple of things. One of the things she said was a woman gets really turned on by a man. So this is good for you because you learned it. Man cooking live. Like when you cook and she's watching you cook, it's very like almost sexual and it's like foreplay. A man but he knows his way around the kitchen. It can't be just like, hey, pan kidhar hai?
Yeah,
Raju?"
yeah.
So it has to be
those.
my kitchen. It has to be my kitchen then.
Yeah,
because
yeah,
how
yeah.
else would I-
No, like
Exactly
I think she's not wrong. Like in terms of like a guy who knows his way around the kitchen is very, because you know what, it's not even about the cooking thing. It's like, functional adult. That is such a defining thing when you look at
Functioning
dudes, 'cause you're
male
like,
adult. Yeah.
Male adult who is functional means you can feed yourself. So you're a survivor.
Feed yourself,
On
not
the
even
other
like
hand,
feed me.
If your
Feed
wife
yourself
runs away
so
with the
that-
cook, I mean, she's spot on and you've got to think about that.
Yeah. Then there's a lot of other things you should think about if your wife has run away with the cook.
Don't make it a class thing. He might be a good-looking guy. He might
I'm not
be an
making about
interesting
class.
guy.
I'm making about how bad your cooking must be.
I'm horrible. No wonder I got no girls. I can't cook. I just did
Really?
one dish in my entire life in America, which my sister on the phone with a normal landline phone coaching me from North Carolina to New York. The whole tomato puree experiment with keema. She told me just make keema. It's the easiest thing to do, non-veg.
It
And-
is.
Yeah.
And then
And
add
over
the
there,
tomato
you
puree.
even get the ground beef, you get the puree.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
making
All there.
keema in America is nothing.
It's
It's
so
all there.
simple.
But it turned out to be BJP Orange. And I had one Pakistani roommate, one Greek roommate, all hardcore non-veg. And they were like, Rocha, it's not bad, but nobody
What is it?
I remember the Pakistani boy was telling me in Urdu that he's come to the land of non-veg food. And this is what he got.
But you can make eggs. Eggs is a pretty basic.
I can't.
You
I
can
can eat
make
them.
eggs.
Can't make eggs.
But you're a Parsi who can't make eggs.
Okay, I'll go.
Dude,
back
how
and
can you
try.
not make eggs?
Oh,
dude?
Jesus,
I mean,
podcast's over.
no, seriously, man. Like scrambled eggs, omelets, these things are like
Amit, you-
like a child can make
You
them.
hairy bastard. Let's get one thing. You lived in America, which is a different world. Okay, there everybody learns to do everything. I'm a South Bombay. I've never left my mom.
I spent
49,
four
I've
and a
lived in the
half
same
years in
house.
America. I spent 5 years in America. Okay,
but
that's it.
I spent 4 months and I learned a few things. Like I didn't know that you have to put, there's a washing machine and you put things in it and to wait for it to clean. And,
So where did you close? Like, how did that?
I've never been
how
to
do you-
America.
How did you live?
no, that's because of, Ayushi, sorry, because Silvery learned how to cook because of the lockdown. He would never. You're as spoiled as I am.
No, I
Okay,
know.
you'd have been sitting there.
eggs.
Huh?
Eggs I've known for years,
Why?
man. What are
How?
you talking
When?
about?
Why did you
What do you
learn eggs?
mean? It's eggs. It's
Dude,
there's
you
nothing
make
to learn. You
you
just
come
open them
home
up
drunk.
on a
How
pan.
can you not want to make yourself an omelette at night, yaar?
Nuranis. Bro.
Okay,
bro,
that's
eating,
also a
beating.
point.
Bro.
That's true.
नहीं 40 minutes कम से कम हाँ.
That's such a good impression. I am
These are my
floored.
friends.
Okay, fair.
Yeah.
Okay, what a wonderful cock and bull. Now, again, this is rubbish from a silly menu thing in Pankaj's restaurant.
about chai?
Sumit's restaurant, huh?
What about
Yeah,
chai?
I can
you
I
make
don't like
chai.
chai. I don't like coffee and tea. I'm not
What?
a big chai.
You're never into hot beverages, like never into coffee or chai.
No, sorry, Ayushi.
So what?
Yeah.
But one
that-
second. The tea and coffee thing. So what do you like generally? What do you?
I got a kid's
drink?
palate. Okay.
Ah,
Now that
got
I
it.
stopped drinking alcohol, I'm literally like I like jujubes. They're in the fridge, which of course I try not to eat them, or jujubes, whatever they're called.
Yeah.
I love all colored drinks, like red, green, blue, yellow, everything. Even Gatorade I like. But
Gatorade's amazing. I love Gatorade.
amazing, yeah. But also I take a 300 mg caffeine shot in the morning before working out. So after that, I don't like to drink too much caffeine unless
Ah,
there's
so
an
you
event.
are having.
I don't like the
caffeine.
taste of caffeine. That's inside the NO2 that I drink. And that's right now it's a tropical fruit flavor. Quite nice.
Okay.
Are you getting
So
paid
that's
by
like a
them?
kid's drink, except it's got beta alanine and all the different amino acids. And so other than that, it actually tastes nice, like a kid's drink, sweetish.
So you like tang, basically.
I've made my own drink called Lang. I'm just trying to get it copyrighted.
Is it lime tang?
Damn you, woman, you're quick. You're so quick.
I
Need
will
something
beat
like
you
that.
to this patent.
Yes.
Oh,
You
so
already
that's the flavor, by the way.
you've
Yeah,
copyrighted
you
it.
get that flavor.
Yeah.
I love it. I just
I get it. Yeah, that's the one that comes from my house. We don't get
But
the orange.
one
we get
second.
the lime one.
I think Cyrus Lang is Nimbu Pani.
No, I mix the two. That's hence it's Lang. But let me just get to the point. So if a guest comes and I just with a straight face say, "You'll have Lang," and they all don't know to act like they don't know what you're saying. Like, yeah, but you can see the fear in their eyes because Lang is not Tang, so they know something's wrong. Is it worth the risk?
But like if someone really offers you a drink like with a lot of excitement, I am interested to know what it is that is exciting you. So I will try it.
No, but this is a soft drink. Now I understand what you're saying. If you're at a cocktail party or something, that's a little different. The
So
whole
you
thing
bring
is,
the Lang, I'll bring my addition to it.
by the way,
and then I can have the
Lang goes
cocktail.
very well with vodka.
I can imagine it,
It
going
does.
well with,
Really
on
mixes
ice.
well.
It does.
But don't make it too sweet because it's got a very strong sweet component in the
Oh,
vodka.
so I don't like a sweet cocktail though. That's
Yeah,
the
so
thing.
that's why you have to put a little bit of it and mix it up with lots of ice if you like ice in your vodka.
And then like chili, maybe perhaps a little crushed ice,
Oh, God.
tequila. That would be good.
Actually, of
All
late
of
I've
that
been
sounds
missing
good
drinking.
except for the chili. No, but Nimbu
Ooh.
Pani has
Have a spice.
has been my kind of discovery of the pandemic, right? That Nimbu Pani goes well with almost all alcohol.
Without anything added. Oh,
Yeah,
With
just Nimbu
alcohol.
Pani with vodka, with gin, with any white alcohol. It just goes
Limbu
well.
pani and gin, by the way, is like a I think it's like a unrecognized Indian cocktail.
It is the best.
there must be something similar abroad. Lemon crush or whatever.
You get
Yeah,
a
but
gin
like with-
lemonade, but I
of
mean,
course,
it's not
with
the same.
lemonade.
With limbu pani, if you're making it this way, it's like there's a little bit of salt, a little bit of like
Yeah.
jeera, some sort of Indian-y, that undertone that kind of.
You mean
cuts
no
that
sugar, you
sweetness.
guys?
No sugar.
Nimbu pani, no sugar?
Salty
Oh, come
nimbu
on.
pani.
Is it a Parsi thing?
It's just
always got sugar.
electrolytes for you.
Yeah, but you gotta add sugar. Silvery, sugar, no sugar.
Usually sugar. But what we use is we have this bottle that has like the extract of like 72 nimbus in one bottle. So you
Okay.
just put a little bit of that bottle in your drink and it just. you can
So
make it
basically, you
drink.
just
How much you have to put?
squeeze
Nimbu
the
pani.
Nimbu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's a squeeze.
One second. Can I ask one thing? What is this nickname that you call Antariksh?
Silvery.
Episode
What
17,
is this?
36, 402, 307. Pick
Oh,
it.
man.
It's there.
Yeah. It's just
Oh.
there at every other episode.
His
No,
brother's
it's-
name is Goldie, and so his.
Now we can all answer. My
Yeah.
kids can answer. I can call anybody. Answer the Silvery question.
No, it's not that, because he used to be our producer and I've never heard anyone call him Silvery. We used to call him Spaceman because Antariksh.
Correct. The silvery is only like it's only a Cyrus test thing, basically.
It's
Nice,
caught on,
nice.
bro. A lot of people are calling you.
I mean, now a lot of people guess. That's
Come on,
Now I'm going to
movement.
tell Tash. I'm
Like
going to be
AIDS.
like, Antariksh's name is Silvery.
Silvery.
I think it's quite nice. if you grow up with Punjabi friends, they all have nicknames. You can't not call them, And Goldie's done to death, man. It's like
For sure.
Goldie, Bunty.
But I
yeah.
love Goldie as a nickname. Imagine if your name was just Goldie.
My
So
actual
sweet.
nickname is Richie. Actual pet name is Richie. It's
Okay,
Goldie Richie.
Antariksh. You can actually see that little.
No,
Oh,
the
no,
option-
it's a
hello, this is a
completely
toss-up.
unrelated again.
It was
Oh.
toss up between Silvery and Richie, and the family voted 17 in favor of Richie, 16 in favor of.
Your family really likes money, I think. Like Richie,
I guess so,
Silvery, Goldie.
Yeah, makes sense.
You are very rich. You should have
All
told
right.
us this before when you were our producer.
Are you very rich, Silvery?
My family is okay, like well-to-do, I would say.
Fucking Punjus. Gujaratis never talk like this. हाँ मेरे पास बहुत पैसा है बैंजो. It's like my cousins in Delhi. You go to Delhi, the whole thing changes. No?
for sure.
Nobody is ever humble. Humility is maybe it's overrated anyway.
Why? Why do I need to be humble? मेरे पास है.
Muhammad Ali said, "No, I'm so good. It's hard to be humble.
Yeah.
It's okay."
Oof.
Yeah. But he really was. It works when you're
Yeah.
a legend.
When you're
not a
legend
legend, you become a
status-
jerk. Like when I say this is an
Yeah.
obnoxious man. Yeah, I'm the greatest. Yeah. Fuck off.
But like when you see the greatest and they say it, I'm like, yeah, you're allowed. Yeah, it's okay.
Bro, he was special. Muhammad Ali. Special.
Yes. Have you seen that new movie, One Night in Miami or something like that? It's a
No,
fictional
but it's
Well,
supposed to be
fiction,
good.
putting them all
Yeah.
together. No?
Yeah, it's supposed to be
Muhammad
really
Ali,
good.
Sammy Davis Jr. and
Malcolm Davis, Sammy Davis Jr., Malcolm X.
Malcolm X,
Some-
yeah.
Malcolm X.
Cliff Davis. His whole idea was I have no surname. I'm no man's man.
No, you said Sammy Davis, so I kind
Yeah,
of
yeah.
conflated.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
All
What
right.
do you do on
stories.
the show?
As you can
Should
see,
we get to
22 minutes of
topics?
crap.
Well,
I
yeah,
know.
basically we talk shit.
Yeah.
I like
But I want to
this.
know, Ayushi, we invited you on the show because apparently you're an expert on the topic we were going to discuss.
Shut up. Like,
and you have a
respectfully shut
connection.
up.
No, you have a connection with ships. What's the
I have a
connection?
connection.
You're losing money, so that makes you very deeply interested, right, in this particular
I am.
subject.
Oh my God. First of all, thank God I'm not personally losing any money. However, I have a connection to it because I work in commodities and trade. So in terms of like shipping and actual movement of physical cargo across the world is in my wheelhouse of work. Yes. I just posted this story when I heard it and I was like, oh, these are the ramifications that I'm able to recognize because of work. So it would be cool if other people knew about it because I don't think a lot of people got that initially. So I started sharing it, but I specifically told Silvery, I am not a shipping expert. I just really like this
Correct.
story and I'm aware of the domino effect. That's
So,
it.
On this show, interest equals expertise. So since you're interested, you're an
Oh my
expert.
God, then PhD laga do, like straight away.
Also, not
Dr. Ayushi.
to be rude, but there are always low expectations. So those who actually listen to us for knowledge, they don't really think they're going to gain much.
Then
They
I'm
just-
going to fly because I love low expectations.
That's my thing. Welcome. But I think we should set it up a little bit
Yeah,
for anyone
let's
who's
set up-
listening.
Yeah.
Correct. So on the previous episode, we had gotten a comment which made us talk about the story on that episode as well. So I'll
Which
just set
is
this up
actually a
properly this
story in and of itself. I would like to understand how all three of us, who are relatively news-friendly people, did not know this at all.
Amit, there's not enough news about it until that guy sent us the picture and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, every Monday I go through everything.
No,
Once a
that's
week
what I'm
at
saying.
least.
You read the papers. I'm like fairly
in the
plugged
papers,
into
I'm
what's
checking
going on.
everything
But you
How
know-
did I not hear about this till Thursday?
Oh, so first of all, it was in the news. It was on the news from Tuesday night, Wednesday morning.
Mhm.
But specifically, I will say it started out more on the trade chats and the trade news, kind of that link. And I got it through a WhatsApp group. Like literally, I'm part of a group of like women in sugar or
Ship
whatever. And-
owners.
I wish.
Not to be confused with cheap owners.
Listen,
Ship owner.
If I was in a group of ship owners, I would not be on your show. I'd be on the ship.
How mean.
No, I'm
Now
just
you
kidding. I'm just
classified
kidding.
us.
Yeah, but you would be stuck.
Declassified us.
You'd be
I
stuck.
would no. I would tune in from my yacht, like my 70-foot
You'll
liner.
be in the Suez Canal doing
Exactly.
your show.
Yeah, in the traffic jam.
Ram, how I no, that's not a good situation to be in at all. But it did start out early in the week, but it picked up traction a lot later. You're right. Like I think around Wednesday, Thursday is when it started coming up in like mainstream news. But from Tuesday, it was there.
Also, remember in India, 5 elections happening as we speak, etc.,
Yeah.
have wiped everything out of the news. Plus, we got cricket here and there, scandal there, and abroad COVID. So all
Oh,
the
of
normal.
course.
We're living in a world where news does take a tumble because of these damn things.
The unfortunate thing is if something has been relegated to page 3, it's doubtful that it's going to crawl its way to page 1 unless it's massive. But this story actually has now crawled its way to page 1, which is what makes it so special, I think, because it was an underestimation that's now oh my God, wow, how to estimate this?
This is one of those once in a lifetime stories, because I don't think this will happen again. That we would never have found out about this if it happened at any other time.
It'll happen. Look, the chances of these things happening is low, but it's still there. It's not an impossibility.
For me, it's just a figure, 200 million a day. When you start looking at that, I'm like, and no end in sight. I mean, like, no one's panicking. Should it be the first story you see after that? You're thinking,
but
countries,
200 million a day or
GDPs across the world won't cope with that figure. 200 million a day. Just think about it.
I think it was more than that. I think it was significantly higher than 200 million
It's
a day.
More. The trade that kind of flows through the canal on a daily basis is close to like $10 billion a day.
Yeah.
Up and down, because it's westbound, eastbound as well, right? So there's a lot of trade that's flowing through there. It's massive. And you add, now that they've realized that they're not going to be able to move it for a couple of days. And also what people don't understand is even once they get her to move, it's not like you can immediately start like the flow of operations. Because once she moves, it'll take time to take her out, because she might not be able to move at the same speed as she was before. And right now they haven't figured out how to move her. So if the solution in terms of moving her is to actually open out the canal a bit more, do a lot more dredging, there'd be so much construction in that area that again, you'd have to remodify how you'd start flow.
No, they'll have to become like Mumbai. We just have to start construction and we have to suffer. You find your way through.
We are in that. We are in that.
The motorbike
right
will
now.
go on top of your head or on the pavement while you're with your little 2-year-old child in a pram. They'll just kill the child and carry on.
You can't just hoist up your skirt a little bit and jump onto the footpath or the center thing and walk off.
Don't make these kind of statements. My heart can't take it. Okay, I'm very sexually frustrated and unhappy and sad. So don't mention skirts and hiking up and all that. Unless it's a Scots man. In which case it suits me.
Okay, then all these vessels are Scottish men. Please think of them as Scottish men.
What's it called? The O'Leary. What's the name of it anyway? What's the name of the ship?
The Ever Given.
Owned by the Evergreen, right?
So the Evergreen, they are a shipping company and they have a lot of vessels and they're based out of China and Taiwanese group actually. Sorry, I should make that clear. And all of their vessels are Ever something. That's kind of the thing.
Turns out it's a crew of 25 people on board the Ever Given. And all 25 of them are Indian.
Oh, really?
You need her back. Ayushi, come back.
Lots of Indians in the merchant navy just generally. I mean, like, it's...
Listen, Ayushi, you didn't hear what Silvery said. 25-man crew and all are Indian.
Yeah.
All 25 men are Indian.
The entire crew is Indian. People don't even know
whose fault
that.
is it?
It's an Indian sport. It's an Indian sport.
Listen, this is not information that we want out right now. So I don't know why you're telling people.
I mean, Prime Minister's in Bangladesh erecting statues and currenting things and all, and we are killing the world's economy quietly in the Suez Canal.
Who said we weren't powerful? Who said we weren't powerful?
Wow, they're worried about COVID.
Yeah,
You won't have food in the morning. Mexico, you'll be starving.
But we're not directly Mexico, but yeah.
This is like a hostage situation. We've taken the world trade hostage in a way.
Just for the layman, let's clarify. So, whose fault is this when this sort of juggernaut or whatever you call it gets stuck? Whose fault is it? The engineer?
To be honest, it's kind of more, this was a weather thing. That there was kind of like there was a bit of a sandstorm and she was thrown off course because her hull took the brunt of the wind. So she kind of veered off course and she's the biggest liner to go through the canal ever. She's a ULCC, which is an ultra large container carrier. So they can take more than like 20,000 20-feet containers. That's a lot of trade. That's a lot that's on one.
Ayushi really knows her stuff, huh? And then she begins with the whole thing about like, I don't know, man.
This stuff is now my job. So this I know.
You sound like Harsha Bhogle giving me facts and figures on the game. Man. Boom, boom.
Harsha, like in terms of the sports angle of this, the context that I gave my friend that day, I was like, she's 400 meters long. That is a race. That is a sports day race. That is one round of PDP spread out. That's 400. She's that long. So you can't just like turn her back like this and be like, okay, off you go.
Oh, you can put her back in PDP and stop those joggers who drive their cars to jog.
She would not be able to come into Bombay.
Yeah, but how many?
So Bombay Harbour can take a ship this size?
Not this.
Really?
We have only a few deep water ports, and most of them are built by Adani.
Okay.
There's 2 on the west coast. We have 1 on the east, and they're basically developing more. But she's not capable of coming into a normal shallow
So
port.
this is why Taiwan has not invaded India yet. All right, they've been threatening, but they've never done it.
They don't have use for us.
Yeah.
So how wide is the Suez Canal?
This is
Yeah.
a single lane. This is a single lane lane in the Suez Canal where the
So
ship
there
has
are-
gone stuck.
So are there
Oh.
multiple lanes, or is it blocked every?
No, so
when you-
there's a main canal, and then there's the old canal, which is what they've opened up now to divert some of the traffic that can't really go around Africa. So, but again, the old canal has its own challenges. There's a reason they don't use it anymore. Like,
But
this
which
is
canal is the blocked one?
the main canal, the main. It's
So the
like
main
Pedder Road.
Suez-
Pedder Road is blocked.
Pedder Road is
and
blocked.
so you have to
and
go
they're
by
using beach
Altamont
candy.
Road instead.
Actually,
Okay.
yeah. So I mean, this is so lost.
How
on people who
elitist
don't
are
live
we?
in
3
South
of us
Bombay.
talking
Yeah.
about South Bombay metaphors from PDP to Altamont Road. And
This is
Silvery's
so
trying to
out
remember
of-
his beach candy days, and the 20 people listening are like, "Are you nuts?"
I literally was thinking, I was like, this is so alienating for people who don't understand South
And
Bombay.
this is when elitism is at its best because you're so arrogant, you don't realize how arrogant you are.
That is
Yeah.
true.
Oh, that's
Um,
good.
But yeah, it's crazy. And the other issue about her is vessels this size have what they call, now Cyrus, don't make the joke. I'm giving you fair
The
warning.
empty vessels one, I thought about it and let it go.
No, this vessel has what you call a bulbous bow.
Oh, okay. That I'll let Silvery go for that. He's the horn dog here. He's the virgin.
That's fine.
Get out of your system.
And so that bulbous bow is basically at the front of the ship. The hull at the bottom has a huge, like literally a bulb kind of a thing coming out, and it's used to stabilize and keep the vessel level and to keep her on course. And that is what they are kind of realizing now, that is stuck underneath one of the banks. So it's not just like they can't put her in reverse and get her out. Like, she's jammed into the side.
So how do they unjam it?
There's been some wild suggestions being
Yeah.
floated.
RDX, dynamite.
Okay, can I show this? Okay,
Good one,
show the-
Ayushi.
Thanks. But they haven't figured it out yet. There's no one right answer to this.
What are you showing us, Silvery?
This is the suggestion which has been
That
suggested.
phallic thing.
This is a SpaceX rocket lifting the Evergreen up into space and then
Yeah, that's.
I don't think Garrett Miller is a guy who solves the world's problems, though.
Hey, it's Garrett. This is not for you.
So, and how long do you reckon?
some hilarious memes coming out.
They've estimated now. First, they kept saying it might take 2-3 days, but now they've realized that they might be stuck for the foreseeable week.
Okay.
And they are working on it. Like, they've employed a variety of different ways, but it's still, I think, from what you're reading, is they themselves aren't 100% sure what the right answer is. It's a lot of trial and error right now that they need to work on. But worst case scenario, they want to offload her, but she's not low enough for you to offload. You can't have like the cranes that you would need to reach the container deck to take containers off is also like, you'd have to roll them there. How would you?
And how would you get the cranes there exactly?
Why can't they blow the whole ship up?
Because
Then
she's
you'll-
carrying 20,000 containers.
I don't care.
But then you'll have 20,000 containers
Oh,
floating in the
do you
Suez
guys-
Canal.
But what about the 26 Indians on board?
They're fine. They're not injured, you know.
Have you guys heard of a TV show called Container Wars?
Is that the one where you open up these containers which have been abandoned?
Yeah,
And you see what's inside them.
exactly. And then you have to bid. You can like see it only from the
How
outside.
do you
and then
claim
bid.
it in the first place? Because they're nobody's
So-
property.
Yeah, exactly. So,
So-
either some of them get held at customs. People don't pay their like
Duty.
whatever transport cost or the duty
Can
involved.
you do that with relatives?
No, have tried.
Hey, listen, guys, you've been Ayushi is talking non-stop, 35 minutes. Should we take a break?
I don't think we started
Okay, let's-
exactly
let's
35
take a
minutes ago, but we can take a break.
Okay, 33 minutes then, Mr. Perfect. Taking a break.
From uncensored and unfiltered chats with the who's who of the entertainment industry, I, Siddharth Kannan, bring you a very hardcore chat show called Candid Kannan. Tune in every Friday on the IVM podcast app or wherever you get your podcasts.
You're used to our 10 o'clock start,
Yeah, that's
now.
true. It was 4
So,
something.
yeah.
I remember. All right. I don't know why I'm discussing that because when you listen to this podcast or watch it, it's got
This
nothing
is
to
so
do
much
with it.
time. But what is this?
This is what we really do. We have inane, stupid, and then I realize that we can't help ourselves, so I just give in to it.
I like that. I like that vibe.
Yeah, it's like molestation for me. All these
So
ladies used to attack me when I was young, and I just
Oh,
took it
this is
quietly.
reverse. I thought
But it
this was
happens
going
the
a
other way too.
dangerous direction.
Ayushi, it does happen the other way. People think
I'm
we're
not
being
denying that. I'm not
facetious
denying
and
that.
funny and all that, but
No,
it does
no, no.
happen. I used to have my cheeks pulled because I have fat cheeks. Hasina Jetmalani now, very famous socialite.
She's I know her very.
She used to pull my cheeks. I was like, don't pull my cheeks. But, oh, yeah, yes. And then 3-4 girls would join and they pull my cheeks like the container wars with the cheek wars.
I'm
They
going to
pull
tell
my
her
cheeks.
this tomorrow. I'm going to tell
Thank
her
God they
that
didn't
on
meet you.
this
Your cheeks are
show-
pretty awesome. Yeah. But now they won't touch me with a barge pole. I look like one of those guys with all the STDs and gonorrheas and all put together in one package. So I'm fine. I'm good. That charming
Right.
moment. Have we taken the break or we've come back? I
Are we
can't
on a
remember.
break?
I think
came
I was back.
We came back. We lost interest in the break.
There are some hilarious memes that are out there again. So I'll share some more if that's fine. So this one, if you think you're having a bad day, spare a
Yeah.
thought for the helmsman who somehow managed to stick his giant ass ship sideways into the goddamn Suez Canal and blocked it into literal gridlock. And
Yeah, but
currently
Ayushi says
costing
it's
every
not their
3-5
fault. It's not really human error in the sense that the
No, look,
waves,
there
the
is
winds were too
possibly-
strong.
Yeah, no, don't want to be held responsible for that statement. However, I'm sure there was like obviously a margin of human error, dude. It's like possible.
What the hell? I don't understand. Is it the fault of the guy steering the ship or whatever mechanism software does it? Or is it the fault of geography? Or are you saying everything together? So this is
I think it's a combination. I think it's just a combination of multiple things.
This
That this was just super, super unfortunate result of it.
Yeah, it wasn't like, again, I don't know that much about this, but it wasn't like we've had like some
Hey,
unforeseen weather
guys.
event.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys, look at the picture we just put up.
Yeah,
Sylvie's put up a lovely
exactly.
one. Two guys, and you can see
Look at the side.
two guys in a bulldozer on site. This is like what is it, Miguel Cervantes, what's his name? Don Quixote. So they've come with the bulldozer. I check out this picture. Fast. Look at this one. They've come with the bulldozer. Look at the ship.
For those listening to us only on audio, it's a picture which shows the massive, I don't know, the one end of the Ever Given. And there's a tiny little bulldozer on the side of it, which is trying to
Can you
help
see-
in the execution efforts.
This other picture, I don't know if you can see it, but this one
Yeah,
guy is waving to them. Like,
Waving, that's Narendra Modi.
oh, they put him on top. Damn you, not on my show. I don't want to do another show. Go away, woman. Go away.
This is my favorite one.
Yeah.
See, managed to dig out a good part of the bulbous thingy.
It's still stuck. This is huge part. Made no difference.
Is this photoshopped or something? Or is it
No,
the real?
this is
Yeah.
this is the magical reality of this story.
Are you
It's
kidding
so
me?
real.
No,
It's
What
so
kind of
real.
Joker actually thinks he's going to make a... I mean, talk about...
Hey, listen, you don't hate on him. He's so sweetly doing his job. Dig.
What is the height of positivity? All those silly jokes we used to do. I mean, really? You bring... What is that line in Untouchables? You bring a knife to a gunfight?
Yeah, they've brought a fork.
They brought a fork to an intercontinental ballistic missile war. Yeah.
Literally.
So then after this, there are all these suggestions that people have been coming up with about what can be done. How do we get the ship like unlocked there? So this is the first one that we saw. This is the SpaceX.
With the
Elon Musk
SpaceX
that happened.
rockets, yeah.
This is has anybody tried this? Suez? Yeah, you see so this is like these air pressure cans, right? Where if you're clean like your laptop or
The
something.
WD-40 is like its lubricant,
Yeah.
industrial
Oh, it's
lubricant.
lubricant.
Mr. Doshi,
Okay,
tell
that's
us
fine.
more. Huh?
No, it's industrial
All
lubricant.
over now. So he likes the machines, lady. Come on.
Right, sorry, I don't judge.
Single man lives with his mother. Who the hell knows what goes on?
The free
Then
country.
there's a Bernie. There's a Bernie meme at the next to the.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Just look what the internet has done. It's basically a tragedy when you
Yeah,
look at it,
basically,
and
yeah.
everybody's being so
trolling
flippant
it.
about it. Wow.
It's crazy.
Yeah, no,
the
it's-
yearbud. Again, some really, really, really funny ones. So I'll post the link to this article.
yeah.
For sure.
So please go, guys, check it out.
I think they're
No,
gonna have
this
to
is-
land. The
this is-
pivot
this is
one
one of my
too good.
favorites.
The
Favorite
pivot.
one. This is from friends. Ross going,
Is
pivot.
Shamak?
No, that's Ross. That's Ross from.
Did you say
That's Ross.
Shamak? As in Dawa?
Shamak?
Am I wrong?
Pivot. Such a dark.
Yeah, this is from
It sounds
the
like
famous
a
Friends episode, Cyrus.
Pivot. But look, it's all cultural references. I stopped at Seinfeld, so just give me a break here. I
Okay.
had to watch Friends with my daughter, of course. So I do have.
So then you must have seen the pivot shows.
It's true. You forced me to watch so many episodes. Yes, you did. Ah, damn Jennifer Aniston. Oh, sorry, guys. I'm having two podcasts.
All right.
Families
All right.
all here.
Let's
Okay.
go to the next topic.
I think
Let's
so. I
go
think we've
to
overdone
the
this
next
topic.
one. Yeah. Okay. Let's
Okay, I
go to
just
the next
want to
one.
ask
Are you
Ayushi one
still
last
going to have
question.
me on the show for the rest of the topics?
Yes, of course.
Oh,
Yes,
sick.
of course. Yeah.
I thought this was like a guest.
Why would you even ask that
guest spot.
question? That's so rude. Because now we can't even ask you to go. Because that will look bad.
You saw how I did that? You saw how I ensured that I was on it for the rest of the show?
Superb, superb.
I'm very
And you make us
smart.
look like evil men now. Yeah.
Very, very smart.
Damn it.
Yeah. Cyrus, you're saying something.
No, I wanted to ask you one final. I usually one question about. How many days? Because you said 2 or 3 days next week. What do you say? When do you expect it to be sort of resolved?
My God, how I wish I knew that people would come to ask me this question. I
What, the
think
26
that
Indians?
I'm distancing myself from them.
26 Indians stuck on a boat.
This is like that on the first day of Christmas.
Yeah,
My
something
this
like
is like
that,
that. We can say there's a joke there to be
And we're
made.
knocking them off, Ayushi. We're knocking them off. It's black
One by
comedy.
one.
One by one now. 25 Indians stuck on a boat.
They might be stuck there for a while. I think it's going to take them a couple more days. They first estimated 2-3 days.
What's the rest of the world doing? Since it's a global issue and millions of dollars in trade.
They've started diverting vessels now. Either if you could make it up this the old canal, they would. But again, that's a far smaller canal. So that's one issue. The other thing is a lot of them have been turning around and then going around Africa. But that adds anywhere between 2 to 3 weeks to your journey, depending on how you take it. Then you have to see whether your vessel is voyage ready for that kind of journey as well. There's so many.
And it's damaged, obviously. So it may not be physically
Not
damaged.
this particular
No,
one,
not
but
just
the
this,
new
not
ones.
the Ever Given. I'm saying everyone that's
Oh,
waiting
okay.
in line.
Okay.
And then also you have to see that you came with a certain fuel capacity, right? Like going up the canal. This is not budgeted for this part of the.
This is a horror story. So what you're saying is there's no hope?
It's not there was no hope. It'll just take longer. And the F up is that there was already a lot of delay at a lot of ports. This is, if you care to know my 2 bits on this, is the actual ramification of this is more the container trade. So obviously, I don't know whether you guys are aware, but there is a container shortage worldwide right now.
Yeah.
Because there was a lot of backlog from COVID. All the containers haven't come back into circulation. And the way containers stay
I
in
thought I
circulation.
heard that China was hoarding containers for some reason.
They were because they had closed a lot of ports during COVID, and they were hoarding them because they own a lot of them. But the way that they return to circulation is basically once a vessel gets to another port, then those are emptied, reused, and then sent back into the the circle.
Right.
So when you have such a backlog, think of it like 10 of them, suppose, haven't reached yet. So that's 500 containers, suppose, that haven't reached where they should be. So that's kind of the issue that you're going to see. Also, there were I think 13 vessels that were going up the Suez that had petroleum and oil on them. So that's a lot of tons of oil, petroleum products that are currently in limbo. So that's why crude took a rally, and crude had fallen on Tuesday, and then suddenly because of this it skyrocketed.
I filled fuel on Monday and I got 10-20 paisa off.
Cyrus, I think you need to go solve this global oil crisis.
Just put a positive spin on everything for a
So
second.
who pays for this? So let's say, for example, you're somebody who is exporting some goods from China to the US. Suez Canal is short. You have to go around Africa. That means it's obviously more expensive to ship it. Who
Right.
pays for that difference?
So usually
Because
you
all
take
these things are done 6
There-
months, 8
there
months.
must be
Deals are
insurance.
struck well in advance,
But the
right?
insurance for sure,
So
for God's sake.
you obviously take insurance. So you have a P&I club that you'd have underwriters who take this kind of risk on, obviously. But because of all of this damage in the last couple of months has again gotten so much more expensive. So people who were paying, say, $8,000 a day to have your vessel wait outside a port are now paying $30,000 a day, which is, as you can imagine, going to eat into your trade. And insurers will only cover certain things. So
would they cover
going to be
this? Yeah.
Or they
because
would
this would
cover
come under
percentage.
so this is not in the control of the vessel who was in lineup, right?
Yeah.
This Ever Given's insurance underwriters, I don't know what the fuck is going to happen over there, I'll be honest.
Right.
But in terms of everyone else, I don't see this being something that they would be very liable for. But again, it depends on what they're carrying, where they're carrying, who their underwriters are. It's a whole thing.
Ayushi, you said F up twice and now you use the fuck word liberally. What's the story here? Are we going with the F word? Are we doing the disguise thing?
I forgot to censor myself in this last one.
Oops. So we apologize then.
Do you want? Can I take that again?
Sorry.
Can I take that again, Ayushi? No,
No.
it's fine. No, it's fine.
I can't do it again. But yeah, that's just, I think it's really interesting. It's definitely something to keep looking at. The story.
Anyway, if you want a container, come to my house because we in South Mumbai, many of us live in containers.
Oh, I thought you were saying that in my house there's so many dabbas because I have that kitchen also.
That too, but I can't say it loudly. That too. Okay, so that's it. We've exhausted the Suez Canal and we couldn't solve the problem, and people suck, and the insurance may or may not cover. What's next?
Next is tomorrow onwards. So we're recording this on a Saturday. Tomorrow onwards, there is again a night curfew.
Yeah,
announced in
8 to
Bombay,
7.
Which is, I know, Cyrus, this is your favorite thing in the world.
I'm so angry because of the 7.
More COVID restrictions.
No, if the 7 a.m. is to be believed, then because I go to the gym at 6. So I hope they don't bother me at 6:20. And do they shut the club and the gym and everything and all that? Because 7 is too late if you're an early morning person.
I think its movement is not restricted. It's just public gathering.
Public gatherings and malls.
What about the gyms and the clubs? Will they open at 6 or will they open at 7? Because then that screws us up also.
I think right now only malls are closed. Right now,
the malls you shouldn't be going at 6.
Gyms,
that's a little tough.
I'm just telling you what was in the news.
Okay. So can I now vent a little bit more? If you don't mind? I'll tell you my problem. This is all, not just Maharashtra politics, all over the world. The politician doesn't know what to do. He's just coming up with small things that act like he's doing something. So he'll be like, I'll shut this for 4 hours. We'll do that. And it's all your fault. Throw the responsibility back on the citizens. The mask hasn't worked. I'm telling you it's ineffective. And they all want to tell you, just wear the mask, wear the mask. Too many people have got it with the mask on. So just accept the fact that we have to save the economy and fight on. And just keep on working and try and keep social distancing and hope that don't get it. If you do, just soldier on as much as you can. I don't think there's any other way because they don't have any solutions. They want to tell you that they don't have any solutions. They blame you. You guys are gathering. You guys are doing this. You guys are having parties or whatever. And boom. I think
Cyrus, you can't say that there isn't a difference in how people are acting now. I'm seeing people without masks all over the place now.
So they become more complacent. But I just think that this it has to come from within. This playing the teacher with the stick thing is just irritates the hell out of me, and I know where it's going to go. So 8 p.m. to 7 a.m. and.
I think our restrictions are dumb, right? Our restrictions never make sense because you're compressing people. And you're compressing people into activity in certain amounts of time rather than let that spread. So just logically is wrong.
Money first. 8 p.m. You're killing commerce from 8 to 11 or whatever. We use your head, Put things in place. 50% restaurants, they're dealing with that. Let them deal with that. Do what you can.
But restaurants aren't at 50%, by the way. That's
they brought it back. They brought 50% back last week or 10 days ago, and now they've killed them at 8 o'clock. So there's no dinner. So you've lost. Listen, they're dying hand to foot. If the Home Minister is to be believed, and they're paying 2 to 3 lakhs hafta, and they make no money. I mean, that's like economic rape. What's the point of that? You keep the restaurant open for what? To give handouts.
Yeah,
it is ridiculous, right?
Look, nocturnal industries and commerce that we're not talking about, people who work with the global side of things, and you are using your office, not everybody's online. So you have to think about everything and just work out a way where everybody can work, and let's hope that people don't get it and try and do the best you can under the circumstances. I don't know what 8 to 7 is.
I think the solution is just accelerate vaccination, right? I mean, like really accelerate it more than they have, and be smart about it. Why do you have to have all India vaccinated at the same rate? Start making it more available in places where there's a bigger problem. I mean, like the fact that they're not doing any kind of targeting is foolish in my mind, right?
I've been in the airport. I've done 6 or 7 flights in the last 3 weeks, and let me tell you, everywhere I go, the lines, nobody's keeping any social distance. When you in the line to enter, where we all become a common person, whatever bloody way of flying, everybody's just 6 inches behind. Occasionally they touch you, their bag hits you. And those are 15-20 minute queues. That's where you should. So use your logic. Where are the problem areas? Let's look at that. And there are many small problem areas like that, and let's try to address that.
But they've done blanket. They've just done a blanket solution. They're just like, oh, this is something that you're supposed to do, so let's just copy paste across all.
It's an interesting problem in the sense that if you think about it, it is a problem that we talk about quite a bit, Cyrus, right? I mean, like the idea that we're trying to promote equality of outcomes in some cases. And over here, this is what we're doing, right? When it comes to the vaccinations, when it comes to the infections, we believe that everybody should have the equal kind of this, right? And in this case, it doesn't make sense for it to be equal. There needs to be some targeting. You need to make vaccines. You need to make vaccines available more easily in Bangalore, in Bombay, in Delhi, in places which are hotspots.
You can't play the center versus state game. I agree with you. It's rubbish.
Yeah. And not now. Like at this point, you're going to do this. Like, come on, man. like people, and you're getting
the vaccines. Why hold on to the vaccines? You know Maharashtra is 60% of your problem. Send everything here. Makes no sense.
No, get it seriously. Bombay, Delhi, Bangalore. These are the three, or not even Bombay, Delhi, Bangalore, and the rest of Maharashtra, right?
Pune to some
Nasik,
extent.
Pune, Nagpur. These are the areas which have real issues, right? Other than that, most of the rest of the country it's not suffering, but it's not to the
They're
same degree.
progressing decently well. But did you see what was in the news? They were like, oh, the deputy CM is like, oh, if things don't get better, we're going to have to really reevaluate a lockdown again. So everyone better be careful. And it's like, are you threatening us into this? I'm confused. Like, shouldn't you actually open more vaccination centers? Shouldn't you allow more of the population? Because another thing that I heard was people aren't going to the hospitals as much as they would like. So you are just sitting with vaccines that you could be giving to even people outside this 45 age range.
So then address that problem, which is why aren't we enticing people to come? What's
exactly.
the issue there? Because
you should have a vaccine drive.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like in Dubai, we got the thing done, the test done last minute. We went to a mobile clinic. It went really quickly. There are many different ways which we can, get more people involved who don't want to step out or don't want to go into crowded places, etc., etc.
But by the way, the vaccine, it's a seamless process. I took my grandparents to do it. And I have to say, there was not one thing that was inconvenient or like illogical or unorganized about the whole process. I don't know why people aren't going. Like, I want to say that there was no line. Why was there no line? There should have been a long line.
Yeah, my mom also came back in 3 minutes. I sent her by bus. Toughen her up. I almost did. Yeah. So I just think that, again, politicians of the world under fear, lockdown, partial lockdown, night curfew, this curfew, 6 hours, 4 hours. I've done my bit. Now it's your fault. Just think of the psychology of all that. Just bounce it back to you. Because this is something they're all unprepared for. They've never dealt with. They never thought about this.
That's fair.
Suddenly, it's just beyond their scope. That's the fact.
Really interesting. I was watching the John Oliver show last weekend. The one he did one about plastics, right? And just basically the whole plastic industry and stuff like that. And he made a really interesting point, which is kind of very parallel to what you're talking about here. A lot of the environmental movement that exists is created by the plastic industry to make you think that you're at fault for environmental issues, right? So that you take responsibility for it. The fact is that 95% of plastic is not recyclable, right?
Oh.
But that's not what they do. They talk to you about the 5% that's recyclable and how you must recycle it. Yeah, it doesn't recycle, right? Like a bunch of plastic does not recycle, right? There's the amount of things that recycle is not minimal, but you have to make it in a certain way for it to be recyclable. You mix up two different kinds of plastics and then all of that becomes unrecyclable, right? So, but basically what the plastic industry has done is they've kind of created the situation where people think that it is our responsibility to kind of keep the world clean.
Yeah,
but the fact is that there is nothing that you can do about most of the plastic that you're consuming. It is the fault of the plastic industry and the packaging industry for making plastics in these ways.
Yeah.
And it's the same kind of thing over here where they're just basically offsetting blame.
Only on our podcast, we expose the underbelly of the beast every time. We catch you. Nobody else can catch you. We're Arnab with a conscience.
This is an expose show. I did not know I was in it. I feel part of
a lot
such
of
a bigger
respect.
thing.
We brought you in because shipping is not our thing. And you very humbly said you had no idea. And then you sprouted like, I don't know, it was like, Hamlet, the whole monologue without stopping. And I was like, what's she talking about? And you gave us like figures.
But you have to shut me up. That's the problem. So it's like a long.
It's sounding vulgar. I'll not do all this. I will steer
How
my
your
ship.
brain thinks.
I will steer. I'm sorry. I'm going through a midlife, that male menopause thing.
Mid?
Maybe post mid. Is there one? Let's Google. What comes after mid? Yeah. But my wife still loves me. Okay, so she does.
I love that. I really hope that makes it onto the show.
Ayushi, I asked Amrita, a friend of mine, on Friday, the show we did last, to mark 5 guys in the gym that she knows in terms of looks, and she put me 5th. So I got to tell you, I always get the worst reaction.
But 1 second, what gym are you going to where there are good-looking people? I want to circle back to that.
It's all relative, Ayushi. I mean, you're young. Your life will change.
Exactly why I'm asking, where can I go to find these good-looking people at the gym?
I spoke too much. There is no oasis in the desert. It continues.
I know.
We represent Indian males, 3 of us. This is what you got. The Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost. That's it.
This is why I'm single.
Oh, sorry? Yeah, that's why you're single. Now my male Saluki is going berserk. Shall we get on with the AMAs, bro?
Let's do that.
Let's go.
Hello Hello, everybody. Welcome to another great week on the IVM Podcast Network. If you're not following us on social media, please do. We're IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. I'd like to thank our sponsors on the network this week, Siet Tires and the Whole Truth Foods. We really appreciate the support. So this week, tune into This Round is on Me with Gauri Devidayal. She invited Sonal Holland, India's only master of wine, and they discussed the goodness and business of wine, the pros and cons of being women in the hospitality business, and motherhood. On The Traveling Professor, Siddharth Deshmukh looks at evolution of search and wonders how voice search might change things yet again. On Advertising is Dead, Varun Dugirala featured Anirudh Singla of Pepper Content. He shared his perspective on the term content and how he sees it going forward. On Storytellers and Storysellers, Vinny spoke to Ayushman Sinha, head of Represent, a music talent management agency. He spoke about life as a manager and about nurturing new talent and paving a progressive career path for them. On Cyrus Says, we had entrepreneur, businesswoman, and Ruckus Avenue radio host Alexandra Masur. They discussed ethnicity, life as Desi American, Seema Auntie's matchmaking show, and a lot of other fun stuff. Also, IVM has an hour every Sunday on the Ruckus Avenue Radio Network, a US-based radio station that caters to the South Asian community. It's available on Dash Radio, and you can catch the episodes on the IBM Likes feed every Monday. On The Habit Coach with Ashton Doctor, Ashton asks us to commit to sleep and prioritize it over every party, work deadline, or binge watch session, as it is a crucial time when the body slows down for maintenance and recovery. And with that, let's get you back to your show.
Follow me at Instagram and Twitter on Bored Brocha. I'm so bored, I need your help. I need your love. I need your touch. Okay, just follow me.
All right, AMAs. First AMA comes from Sahil H. Kashyap. He says, hey guys, big fan of the podcast from Ghatkopar. My question is, why are people who drive in India so comfortable about overtaking from the left?
Yeah.
As any good driver will tell you, you have to always overtake from the right or just stay behind the other car.
What is he? Living in some other world? Have you seen how people behave? Buses are on the right of the road. They're not supposed to be on the right of the road. Cyclists in the morning when I drive at 6:30, there are 5 of them spread across. So where do we go? From over the head? There's a turn to go to Princess Street towards the Bombay gym. I think that turn, I nearly kill one every day because they're just one after another doing a little bicycle race, and I'm like, what do we do? And you pause there, but you the temptation to hit the accelerator and just, one less cyclist in the world, one more container on that ship, I don't know. So nobody follows rules.
Agreement of this rant. Please continue.
No, I'm like, I've given up. Nobody follows anything. So what are we talking about left and right? That's the least of the problems. Nobody follows the lane. People stop on the crossing. You're not supposed to stop on the crossing. And they're supposed to cross on the crossing. Those idiots who don't have enough money to buy cars in the first place and misbehave in public because of that, they just walk wherever they want to. They walk in between, they're on the phone, they walk zigzag like that. And it's all about, the class thing. It's not the class thing. You're just an idiot. You just don't care. It's like, I don't have enough money, so you better treat me with respect. You suck. Yeah, I don't want to play class games. Just don't. We've given you those lines are there. It's there for you to cross. Look at the line and cross, and we have to wait peacefully to let you cross. That's the rule. No point. Rules are wasted on us. British left in 47 because they couldn't even stop us spitting. Finally, Montgomery looked to the boys and said, I can't do this anymore, lads. And boom, off they went. Yeah. And even the Gateway of India, the few Parsis sing by somebody spat. How's it? Nahi? Something like that. Amit, I'm sorry, please add.
So, no, Cyrus, that rant is perfect.
Yeah.
That rant is perfect for the second part of his question because he goes,
Here's the second part.
Cyrus, he goes, Cyrus, how strict are you about following road safety rules? In my head, you're always angry behind the wheel while cursing at anyone who dares cross the path of his brochness. Love the part. Keep it up. I think that applied. I think what he said just applied.
Brochness.
I've got a few pet peeves and red flags. One is bikes. Okay, it's like racism for me. I just don't like that race now. It's like the bikes. So I'm really looking to kill them. I just hate them. Because what I hate is not the fact that they break the rules, but because they don't seem to understand they do. So if you ever have an argument with them, like I've told you 250 times, the guy comes through the one way, you stop, he stops, the standoff happens, and they don't even talk to you. They just do the neck thing. Like you go from that side. I'm like, what are you, nuts? You've broken all the rules in the world, and now all you do is twitch your neck, and I'm supposed to find my way through, and you're supposed to find it, and it's all peaceful, all good.
I really want to
my
be your
wife
friend.
nearly punched a guy 2 days back. And finally, we had to stop and let him go. It was like, they just break. There was a car coming up the one way. Now what the hell's going on? It's a free-for-all. It's a jungle out there now. I don't know what to do.
100% agree with you.
I think we should all carry baseball bats.
You know, the F up is, Ritash and I were discussing this on our show. Okay, see, I remembered to censor myself this time.
But now you can rant properly.
Okay,
Nobody
fine. Do you know what the fuck up is? Is that everybody who drives badly, it's not just like the cyclist or the motorist, it's everyone who has no ability to think like beyond their own vehicle.
Yeah.
And then the added thing is sometimes you see people like, oh, I'm mad about this. I'm so upset about this social situation in the country. And I can't believe that people behave like this. And how can you be so racist and bigoted? I'm like, dude, you can't even follow basic
These are the ones who let
traffic
us
rules.
down.
And
These
you are giving me
socialists are the ones who cause all the trouble.
exactly. You're giving a lecture about what's happening in another city, another state. Like, okay, I get it. Like, that's outrageous as well. But how can you not be like? How can you not follow a red light?
Your point is well made, Ayushi. It's very simple because you're talking about an egalitarian society in some way or form, right?
Yes.
And why are you talking about class and money? We're all following rules. It doesn't matter if you're rich or poor or whether your father served in the
But
army
you
or
can't
not.
follow
Who
these
cares?
rules, and you want everyone else to be like, oh no, everything should be completely pure and everything is right and you are wrong. I'm like, dude.
Yeah, because what they're doing, this good-natured humanitarian friend of yours who's never fed a pigeon in their life, what they are doing is juxtaposing the whole point of, I'm rich and they're poor, so let it be. We should allow this. That's not the thinking. The
I
thinking is
wasn't
about
even
rules. It's a
thinking like
clinical
this.
thought.
I was thinking more like people think that they're above rules. Like that's what
that
pisses
too.
me off. Like you think that you're like some rules don't apply to you, but all the other rules have to apply to everyone else. But if you make a minor traffic, it's like, dude, like everyone does that. No, you have to be better. You're educated. You are the hope.
Oh God, don't start me off. I have so much hatred for all these people that you mentioned.
What are you saying, Cyrus?
What? You hate them too.
What? Shut from 8 p.m. to 7
His wife is not one hypocrite. I can't be married to a woman who goes through one ways. No, we don't go through. The thing is, honestly, really the problem is that when you have a confrontation with them, they're never ever actually apologetic or know what's going on. It's like they're so fucking ignorant.
But when you are in the car, it's always your fault.
It's always, I'm saying it's a class thing again. It's all
That's
all
India.
the
And that's
thinking.
class. No, there is a class. There is a class issue there, right?
And how can
The person in the richer vehicle is always
how
at
can you
fault.
take the bike on a pavement with all the digging going up? I was telling that guy the other day, look at, there's no space for anyone, and now there's little space for people to walk on the pavement, and they just think, okay, where there's a space, I'll go. It's just like a cockroach.
It is. No, but it is annoying. It's one of the most annoying things that is out
Hence,
there.
I have begged the
why I don't
government. We
drive.
have to have biker day where we can all kill bikers, and there's no penalty.
Oh, I
You just
thought
get out.
So
You go like,
basically
hey,
the
you.
purge for bikers.
Don't get me started on Zomato.
half the time you feel like such a hypocrite because you're like mad at delivery people, and then you're like, it's probably my package.
I know,
Anyway.
but Ayushi, you tell me, you're a South Bombay girl, so aren't they just the worst? Those food delivery guys.
Because there's no, they've come and they need to make their time target. So you almost feel bad, but then you're like, but why? Why must you do this to the rest of us?
But they are unbelievably that full pace. I just and a few
They
of
have
them
a
have
death
already.
wish. My friend has this logic. It's like, you have a death wish. I'm happy to help you fulfill it.
It's easy said and done, but there'll be repercussions, and you'll be given a jail
Exactly.
sentence, and that guy's caused all the trouble.
I am not this friend.
Yeah. What's the name of the friend and address, and we'll have people visit. Yeah. Probably a biker himself. Chalo, what's next?
Next one comes from Aanchal Meenawala. She says, "Hey Cyrus, Amit, Silvery, and guest. How are we still in this? How are we still going through this COVID BS? Now Mumbai is going back into another phase of curfews and restrictions. I work in the event industry, and it's been terrible. Anyway, now that that's done, my question is totally unrelated. I want to ask, what
He
are your
deserves to be on the
favorite
podcast.
fast food chains and joints?" Yeah, Aanchal, it could be a girl, I think. Aanchal Meenawala. So anyway, she says,
One day you'll lead India. Go on.
Anyway, now that that's done, my question is totally unrelated. I want to ask, what are your favorite fast food joints and chains from outside India that you would like to see come to India?
Oh, Amit's
I'd
the
like to
outside
see
India.
Taco Bell come for real and not this like bastardized version they have.
Yes.
Like a real Taco Bell. I would love to see that.
I like
Why?
Mexican.
What's the difference? I don't.
Oh
know
God, the
now.
version we have over here is horrendous.
It's
I've
not the
never
real
tried it.
franchise.
No,
I've
no,
tried
it's
it.
the real franchise, but the menu is just all over the place. It's terrible.
Oh.
Oh, so you want to replicate? You don't want the localized?
Well, I want the. So you know what? Actually, I was talking to somebody about this recently, right? The localized versions of burgers at McDonald's and Burger King are terrible. Who eats those?
Yeah.
Well,
Why do
actually,
But
in
those
India,
who are
you're saying.
exposed,
Yeah,
but those who are exposed to other stuff abroad is different from those who are not. You know,
I know.
like my theory is Badi Mia. We loved the Badi Mia in the 90s because it was the only place open in our area after
Yeah.
drinking.
Oh yeah.
So we didn't really
100%.
think it through. Now you got 32 other options, and suddenly
It's
you're not
not
going
very
there.
good.
Yeah.
It's not
But
very
pure
good.
taste something. Pure taste
Yeah.
option.
No, but so I ordered Burger King at home like a couple of weeks ago, and it was awful. It was like just like
There's
awful.
one
Okay.
meat ingredient which has changed, no?
Yeah.
Well, so
So
that is
I'll
one
tell you.
part of the problem, but that's not the only part. So, one thing I think that these fast food guys, when they come to India, they feel the need to make food
So
spicy,
what
and
could
they
be
don't
different there?
understand
They follow
spicy means more
okay.
than chili.
One sec. So if you're getting the McDonald quarter pounder or whatever, our version
Huh.
of that, then don't they have to follow the formula exact? In
No,
terms
but
of
they
those,
replaced the patty. No, it's
the
chicken
patty-
now.
the
So the
patty
whole
they've replaced.
situation has
I agree.
changed.
Yeah.
I agree.
Also,
It's like
they've
having an
Indianized
ugly
everything.
spouse. Yeah, you
But-
can't do anything about it.
To be honest with the Indian McDonald's, I've read this somewhere before. It's one of the most successful, innovative menus. Like in terms of the way that they've personalized it for the country has been very, very successful.
I guess, but I mean, like, I just find it.
But
I
he's
don't
right.
like
It doesn't
at
taste
all.
at all. Well, I was in Dubai. It just there's no correlation in
Yeah.
the taste. Actually, the whole
Yeah.
chickeny for the non-veg, the chickeny stuff
Hmm.
that's available and all. It's nothing like you're really going to eat in Dubai or America or West. Or,
Yeah.
I want In-N-Out to come to Bombay, like
I
a
would love for
proper
In-N-Out to come
In-N-Out
here.
that's
burger.
disgusting.
In-N-Out or White Castle would be great to have
White
here as
Castle.
well.
Is it okay if I say I want Nerulas to come from Delhi to Bombay?
Yeah.
Nerula's was here for a while. Now nobody went there.
Ouch. Okay, go back to Delhi. Got it.
Uh,
What about Chippendales? Not exactly food, but yeah.
yeah. No, but what was the other one? It used to be here. It's not here anymore. The chicken place at Tardev. The British
Nando's.
place. Nando's. That's it.
But I don't
Nando's is
I don't
there.
like Nando's.
Nando's
Where?
is
It's
there.
gone.
You like Nando's abroad?
I just think like how can you have a whole place dedicated to chicken? It's like the lamest meat.
Good thinking.
Well,
Good
well,
thinking. Honestly,
okay.
it's really like the meat
Like-
which needs help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you're
You've
gonna
gotta-
you have a whole menu dedicated to breast meat, like ugh.
Hang on. Let's talk about this. Let's not be in a hurry, guys. Let's all have a view.
Nothing against breasts. It's a
Yeah.
chicken breast meat. That's my problem.
No, but you're right because you need the fry to prop it up. You need the spice to prop it up. You need the
You need
sauce.
so much else to make the chicken
Yeah.
workable.
Yeah.
Now,
But-
other meats, I won't say them.
yeah.
They carry
They have
their own
taste.
they
That's
have
the key.
integrity.
Especially Burger King, where the meat is not, it's made, it's grilled
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
taste
yeah,
is
yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Exactly.
In that forbidden flesh.
That's
Yes.
my like so my first thing when I go to the US is Taco Bell. My first thing when I go so I've been to Malaysia a couple of times recently. First thing, like at the airport they have a Burger King. I've
Yeah.
been to that Burger King at like literally 7:30.
They recognize you. He's come back.
Wow.
It's like
Yeah. No, but because I mean like these things taste incredible, but we don't get them over here at
But
all.
I know we don't have time, but a lot of things, like even Cadbury chocolate, it's a milk quality. Again, we've discussed this slightly, but it just doesn't taste the same. If you have it in, say, Europe, and then you have it here, this is huge.
But
And
I
then in
like
America,
Indian
it's
better,
different.
huh? I like Indian better. For when it comes to Cadbury
wait,
Dairy
no,
Milk
bro,
or
no,
milk
no, no, no,
chocolate,
no, not the
I like
chocolate.
the
There's
Indian
no
better.
chocolate that holds up. I'm sorry.
I don't
I'll
like
walk off the
Indian Kit
podcast.
Kat. I hate
I don't
Indian
like
Kit
Indian
Kat.
Kit Kat either. But I
It's
think
not
that
good
I love
Cadbury.
Kit Kat. I love
Okay.
Kit Kat.
Guys, this is
Cadbury
rubbish. You've got to
Dairy
know. You've got to
Milk.
eat them together. You've got to bring it back. Bring one Kit Kat back from. Let's say you're in London. You bring it back. You take an Indian Kit Kat. You cut one finger each, and you eat them one after another. And you tell me.
Yeah,
It's
the
like
Indian
a-
Kit Kat sucks.
Yeah. Indian Kit Kat's terrible compared to the American Kit Kat. is.
Again, this is
and
like-
I've had it like that. I have done that. We've done exactly
Look at the
that.
amount of sponsors we've lost, though.
Listen,
Maybe the
love
Suez Canal.
everything, love
Huh.
everything, love
Yeah.
everything, but we're just sometimes you don't. But I really do like. But I like the Indian dairy milk much more than any American milk chocolate.
No.
Hershey's sucks, Cadbury
I-
sucks.
Oh.
I think we've been socialized.
He's saying dairy milk in
into
India is
really
better
like
than
Indian
our dairy milk abroad.
But I think Indian dairy
Amit
milk is
Doshi.
super comforting.
My wife's
Yeah.
throwing a fit.
Indian dairy milk is very comforting.
It is,
It's
it's
such a
what-
Ayushi,
known
you're just saying that
taste.
because you want your podcast to stay. All right, let me tell you the truth.
Okay.
But I like Hershey's. Hershey's is quite nice.
Oh, I don't
Hershey's
like
is quite
Hershey's.
great.
No, Hershey's
Oh, I
is
don't like
awful,
Hershey's.
man. Compared to
So
dairy
sweet.
milk, it's terrible.
You polite type.
Hershey's makes a
Hershey's.
great. So the Reese's peanut butter cup is also a Hershey's product. Those are
Reese's
amazing.
love. Reese's is
I
great.
Those are
want
the
a
best.
Reese's piece right now.
So that's
Yeah.
the best chocolate ever made, right? I mean, like mass produced, not like fancy chocolate.
I'll tell you
But
where
like-
we're number one, Frankie. Frankie should have gone all over the world.
Yeah.
Frankie was good enough.
Yes.
Frankie
The
is
rolls,
so tasty. Yeah,
the rolls are great.
I
Yes,
want
yes,
Tibbs
Frankie.
to go global. I want
Tibbs,
Tibbs
yeah.
to go global. That's
Yeah.
my wish.
I would
for
be
Tibbs.
proud. I'd be like, this is our thing, not our version of McDonald's, which is
No,
this
no, no.
chickeny
It's
thing
just
that you
our
mentioned.
thing.
Yeah.
Have you guys had the bread craft Frankie? So they have an item called the butter chicken cheese paneer Frankie.
Can you send it? I'm ready.
Stop doing this.
Okay, dude, I'm gonna send this to you. Done.
There's only one Frankie. There's only one Frankie. Everything else is a role.
The family
Yes,
came on. They
exactly.
brought us Frankies.
Yeah.
Come on, let's keep bringing them on and just talk about Suez Canal, whatever.
No.
There's
Those
only
are
one
roles.
Frankie.
Yeah,
that's a role.
Tibbs
No, so
gotta go
they've
global.
got a few on the menu now. They've got a diet plan and all that. So fine, fair enough. I just want the old-fashioned mutton Frankie. That's all I want.
Yeah.
Oh my
egg,
god, I think I
mutton,
might order that
yeah.
now.
Oh,
Egg
sorry.
veg.
Where do you live?
Egg veg Frankie.
You have a beach candy one. If you're
That's where I'm gonna order it from.
That's the one to. That's the only one to order. That's the only real one. Everyone else
That
is
OG one at
Yeah.
Amar
Shivaji
San.
Park is
I'm
there.
writing this down.
Scandal Point.
Scandal
No,
Point
like
was
and at
ours.
Amar San's, you stand over the ledge like इसमें भैया कड़क करो, like नहीं ज़्यादा कड़क, जला दो, पापड़ बना
You
दो,
understand what that
कड़क.
means, right? Don't use that phrase. You sound like a Parsi ordering and it sounds terrible.
What kadak? Wait, what am I saying wrong?
Kadak.
okay.
It's correct.
Kadak. Yeah.
Crispy.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
What?
I'm gonna circle back to this later. Sorry, I'll end the show.
On this
We're done.
note, correct note.
When we're done, we're done.
Oh, we're done.
We're done.
Well, I guess we're done now, right? Are we done?
I gotta
Oh my
eat
god,
eggs.
can I come on your show more often? This is like
Yes,
so
you
much
can.
fun.
This was fantastic.
our show. Anytime you want to, nobody else wants to come on, please. We book you Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday then, all right?
Okay, fine. I'll link up with Silvery and figure out what I can bring.
But this
to
cock and bull show,
Absolutely.
you can come anytime you want because we just want a
Yeah.
free meal.
Yeah.
Ah, that's sick.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
whenever
we
you're
just
Inshallah.
talk about like 5 things. That's all we do.
What 5 things? We managed 1.5
We did like
today.
3.
We did 2
3.
AMAs and we did 3 other things, huh? 5 things
But
happened.
every time you guys talk so much, you blame me. Everybody talks. A podcast should have only 1 or 2 talkers and 1 or 2 listeners.
I agree.
find this
We
4 talking
have
thing.
Cyrus, we have thousands of listeners, not 1 or 2.
No, I don't mean those listeners. I mean, in the panel, people should be more passive. But I find that Silvery is now growing in stature and slowly, and he's also arrogant about it. Like he just dismisses my point and goes on to the next one without a segue. That's like how you deal with children. The kid comes, Daddy, you want to play? Yeah. So I was thinking, it just does that. I feel like a nobody.
In this situation, you are the child who is saying,
Daddy,
Silvery, I want to play.
That's my father. My father called Silvery. It begins there. The therapy that will form that you're going to go through for the rest of your life. Ouch.
I love it. I'm here for this.
Yep.
Anyway, have a good Saturday night, all of you. I'll be sleeping
Thank
at 9:30 as usual. And I'll go have a lang with eggs right now.
Nice.
Thanks for having me. This was fun.
Yes, the pleasure was all yours, ours. Just kidding.
It really was. I just got to chat for 1 hour.
Yes, I think that's what podcast should be. Not to blow our own trumpet. Sorry about the metaphor, or whatever it is. But I think just talking is the fun part, right? Amit
Yeah.
Joshi?
Yeah. I enjoy that. That's what I enjoy, right? I mean, like, that's why I like these.
Actually,
That's
this
why I
is one
like
of our
all the
better
stuff and
talks
stuff.
because it just flowed without anybody
Yeah.
thinking.
No, and also Ayushi knew stuff about stuff, right? I mean, like that
have
that
to
helped.
praise her,
That's
she's
my
happy.
That's my tagline, by the way. No stuff about
No
stuff.
stuff about stuff. Which also puts us in
Oh my
perspective.
god, that's gonna be my new Insta bio.
Yeah,
no stuff about stuff.
And then show the
Changing it
3
right now.
idiots next to you, because you know stuff about stuff. Who are they? Why are they there? Bodyguard,
You
accountant,
make me look
friend.
good. You're
Yeah.
making me look good. I like it.
We sure do. All right. Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye.
This time forever. Okay, catch us on any of the podcasting apps, please. We beg you. We need you. Send us your questions on Twitter on Cyrus Says In. Or you can email us, even if you're not female, on whatcyrussays@gmail.com.
If you love cricket, listen up. The Edges and Sledges Cricket Podcast is here for you. Hosted by DJ, Varun, and me, Ashwin, we bring a fun, fresh fan's point of view to talking all things cricket. Sometimes it's just the 3 of us, sometimes we have guests, including current and former international cricketers. For new episodes every week, check out the Edges and Sledges Cricket Podcast on the IVM app, website, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Whether you're an established sports person or a budding one, or simply a sports enthusiast, join us, Tanvi and Shlok.
We are 2 passionate pro badminton players talking policy, mindset, and everything sport.
So tune in to the Millennial Athlete every Monday.
Only on the IVM Podcast Network.
Trust us, it's gonna be lit.